If you're just starting out and learning about Etsy, you probably heard about copyright and trademarks, but you might not fully understand just how important they are when it comes to running a successful business on this platform. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the secrets about copyright and trademark on Etsy that you need to know. These insights will help you to protect your rights, avoid unnecessary risk, and grow your shop. So, okay, let's get started. When you start selling on Etsy, it's important to understand trademarks, copyrights, and intellectual property. Well, I'm not a legal expert, but I will share some basic knowledge that can help you avoid unnecessary legal risk as you build your business. So in the world of trademark, there are many different types that you need to be aware of. For example, if you want to use a word, phrase, or symbol for your product, it's crucial to check whether someone else has already registered a trademark for it. So the easiest and fastest way to check is by visiting uspto.gov. This is the official website of the United States Patent and Trademark Office, where you can search for certified trademarks. So if you don't want to use that site, use another simple way. Use Google. Just type the keyword you're thinking of, add the word trademark at the end, and see if there are any results related to an existing trademark. Doing this will help you avoid accidentally using someone else's trademark and protect your shop from potential legal issues. When selling on Etsy, one important issue you need to fully understand is trademark infringement. A classic example I want to share with you is Starbucks, a very well-known brand that you might easily run into trouble with if you're not careful about trademark and copyright rules. Especially on Etsy, you're not allowed to use Starbucks brand name or images on your products, such as t-shirts, mugs, or home decor, unless you have official permission from Starbucks. This is something that's often overlooked by new sellers, but Etsy has a strict monitoring system when it comes to trademark and copyright violation. If you use the Starbucks logo or name without authorization, Etsy can remove your listing immediately. It might even issue a warning or suspend your shop. This doesn't just affect your revenue, it can also damage your shop's reputation and slow down your growth. So if you're thinking about creating products that feature popular brands like Starbucks, make sure you have official licensing or permission from them. Always do your research and check carefully before launching any product to avoid trademark infringement issues. Now let's continue. Below are some common cases of intellectual property violations on Etsy, especially involving trademark infringement and keyword misuse. So most asked question is, can you use the word Nike in your product title or tags? Well, the answer is no. Etsy will immediately remove your listing if you use popular trademark items. Etsy AI systems scan every listing you upload, and you may notice that your product can be taken down within minutes. That's how fast their system works to detect and remove IP infringement content, including listings that use trademark logos. Okay, so for example, if you create a mock-up of a mug, and that mockup includes a Nike logo, even if it's just held by a model in the photos, your listing can be removed. Okay, next up, you're not allowed to use trademark logos in any part of your mockup or product images. Even if you include the logo in your design itself, that's still a violation. It may seem obvious, but it's worth repeating because it's a common mistake. Okay, next up we have copy other sellers' design. This is another common issue on Etsy. Though designs are someone else's intellectual properties, and if you copy them, even unintentionally, you risk getting your shop suspended or permanently banned. Another thing is that quoting song lyrics or books passages. If you're thinking of using lyrics from a song or quotes from a book in your designs, make sure you have the permission. They are also considered intellectual property owned by the songwriter or publisher. Using them without proper licensing can result in copyright violation. For instance, if you include a famous line like All Too Well by Taylor Swift or a quote such as to be or not to be from Hamlet, Etsy may detect and remove your listing due to copyright issues. Etsy system is quite strict and capable of flagging such content. Next up is the fonts. Fonts can be trademarked too. Here are something most people don't know. Many fonts are also protected by copyright or trademark. If you use a commercial font in your design, make sure you have the proper license. Fonts like Helvetica or Gagamon, for example, are widely known and may require a paid commercial license. If you use these fonts without a proper license, you could face copyright issues, and Etsy may force you to take down their product. So before you use any font in your product design, check the licensing terms carefully and make sure you're allowed to use it for commercial purposes. So why do some Etsy shops still exist, even though they may have violating trademark rules? So there are 3 reasons I've noticed over time. The first reason is that some Etsy shops may be based in countries where trademark protection isn't strictly enforced. This means that if they're selling products within those countries, they might be able to avoid legal issues related to trademark infringement. The second reason is that many Etsy shops have very short lifespans. I've seen countless stores come and go over time. If you pay attention, some of those may have already been taken down for violating well-known trademarks, such as One Piece or Disney's. In fact, if I track those stores month by month, I'm pretty sure many of them wouldn't last long. That's why I think making a YouTube video about this, and it would be super interesting. Okay, so the final reason is that some shops may still be active on Etsy because they are currently involved in a legal dispute. For example, they might have filed a counterclaim or are handling the issue outside of Etsy through legal channels, but that's not necessarily a good thing. Even if you're making money on Etsy, lawsuit can lead to major legal expenses, and that can end up costing you more than just removing a listing. So how can you avoid unintentionally violating copyright laws? I understand how easy it is to make this mistake because I've been there myself. I'm not sharing this from theory, but from real personal experience. The lessons I've learned from those missteps are exactly why I created this course, to share everything I've learned through real life practice and help others avoid the same mistakes. The simplest way to avoid accidental copyright violations is to add one extra step to your design process: trademark research. This one is the easiest and completely free steps you can take. Just use Google and search for trademark. You can also use uspto.gov to check whether a word or phrase has already been trademarked. It is also important to learn some commonly trademarked words. This can help you avoid accidentally using them in your designs, which could lead to copyright issues down the line. Another key point I want to highlight: when you purchase graphics, fonts, or other design assets, always double-check the usage license. This is a mistake I see many people make on Etsy. A lot of sellers purchase design elements without reading the fine print on the license, only to find out later that the terms have changed or do not allow commercial or POD use. So, when you buy graphics, fonts, or SVG files, especially from Etsy, make sure to take a screenshot of the license and keep it on file. If you don't verify the license properly, you could end up facing copyright complaints or license revocation. This may lead to your shop being flagged or even suspended. One more tip: I personally recommend not buying design assets like graphics, fonts, or SVG files directly from Etsy. While I love supporting other Etsy sellers, for licensing clarity and legal protection, it's better to use platforms like Creative Fabrica, Creative Market, or Adobe Stock, where licenses are clearly defined and legally reliable. These are the essential things to keep in mind when sourcing and using fonts, graphics, or other design assets for your Etsy store and your POD business. You're probably wondering, should I register a trademark for my design? Or there are so many trademarks out there. Do I really need to register mine? Okay, so here is my answer, and I want to share with you. If you haven't achieved high sales yet and don't have enough market evidence showing that your product is truly selling well, I recommend not registering a trademark just yet. Instead, focus on developing your product and building your brand first. But if you already have a design that's actually selling well, something unique that you're confident will have a long-term value, that's when you should start thinking about trademark registration. Typically, legal expert will advise you to do it all at that point. However, keep it in mind that trademark registration isn't a small expense. It can cost anywhere from $500 to $1,000. So if you're not seeing strong sales or don't have a clear confirmation about your product value yet, I really don't see why you need to trademark every design. So personally, I once considered registering a trademark for a specific design and phrase I use. Eventually, that phrase got copied by someone else on Etsy, but I wasn't discouraged because I had already made thousands of dollars from that design. At the end of the day, we've got to look on the bright side, right? When you're first to launch a unique design in the market, it's an amazing feeling. But if you feel that your design has gained strong traction and long-term value, seek legal advice on how to register your trademark properly and protect your product. So always remember, if you have a design that's selling well and you know it has a long-term potential, that's the moment to seriously consider trademark registration. And if you have any question while learning, don't hesitate to leave a comment under this video. I will always here to support you.